dawn, 16th February. Accompanied by Higgins boats filled with troops who landed at Maravelis, a convoy assembles off Batan and starts across the bay toward Corregidor. Continuing the heavy air attacks that have rocked the island fortress daily for more than 2 weeks, liberators strike at sunrise. Attack bombers follow. For about an hour, they sweep the plateau at the western end of the island where the Japanese are believed to be dug in the ravines and caves. While the convoy remains at a safe distance, the destroyers and cruisers move in to join the air attack with a heavy bombardment. In the meantime, at Elmore Strip on Mindoro, jump veterans of the 503rd Paratroop Infantry Regiment are briefed for the landing on Corregidor. Despite the small area of the target, 2 separate fields are selected for dropping the troops. The paratroopers get ready to move out. Veterans of the Markham Valley, New Guinea, and NURM 4 airborne operations, the men check their equipment in preparation for landing on the smallest jump field ever used for paratroops. Jumping altitude is to be 500 to 600 feet. Takeoff for the mission is at 0715. The target run is an hour away. Air Force films show members of the 3rd Battalion receiving final instructions before making the initial jump. Corregidor is sighted without encountering aerial interception, and the signal is given to prepare for leaving the plane. 2 flights of C-47s head due north toward the island as they approach their targets on the first run. The planes arrive at 0830. The naval and air bombardment that began at dawn is continuing. A flight of A-20 sweeps in ahead of the transports to strafe ground installations and enemy personnel. Transports come down as low as 500 feet for the jump. Because of the small targets, only 8 men at a time are dropped on each of the 3 runs. The troops aim for the golf course and the parade grounds on the rocky plateau known as Topside. Landing fields are next to the sites of our barracks and headquarters buildings destroyed during the siege in 1942. A number of paratroopers are dropped short of their targets and go over the cliffs. They climb down to the beaches, where they're picked up by PT boats. Objective of the landing is to secure the plateau as one arm of a combined air and amphibious operation. The attacking force consists of 2,500 paratroopers. As the men land and get rid of their chutes, they form into units, each pushing out in a different direction toward the plateau's perimeter. Machine gun fire greeted some of the jumps, and a number of the troops are hit. Medical corps men go to work on them. Despite the small area of the targets, a full 80% of the chutes hit the assigned spots. A counterattack is expected, and preparations are made to meet it. The intense air and naval bombardment has apparently stunned the Japanese, and no immediate assault develops. By 0900, the 51 transports complete all 3 runs. Machine guns and other equipment are moved into position to cover the amphibious invasion, and patrols advance to scout the topside plateau. While the paratroopers land on topside and push toward its perimeter, the air and naval bombardment continues to soften the island for a landing from the sea. Hours after the paratroop landing, troops of the 3rd Battalion, 34th Infantry, begin moving in towards San Jose Beach. The beach is near Bottomside, the wrecked dock area on the flat eastern section of the island. Jap emplacements flank the beach from the hills. In spite of the heavy pre-landing barrage, mortar, machine gun, and small arms fire meet the men as they hit the shore. Objective is to push across the 500-yard wide neck of the island and make contact with the paratroopers on the plateau. The beach is heavily mined, and most of the first vehicles to land are damaged. A Jap machine gun nest hidden in a cave behind an old refrigerator plant. A 50 caliber machine gun and a Tank 75 finally knock it out. By early afternoon, the 3rd Battalion moves forward to establish contact with the paratroopers.